That's what's so great about these stories. It just doesn't end. And when you think you've got the story, it's like cricket. You just haven't. It just evaporates.
What can you say?
Did that make sense? You're looking at me.
No, like cricket.
I hope it's like cricket.
Like
I was trying to think about what cricket
No, like
is.
the cricket, like the game. It makes no sense. You're
But it can go on forever, and that's what we're hoping for here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can start this out by saying welcome to Silo, Steve.
Thank you.
Welcome. High five. Well, what is it like joining this kind of motley crew of folks? What are you most excited about kind of announcing your arrival to this series?
Well, it was a very unique job in that it's a huge world. There's a lot of people involved. There's, a lot moving and in and out and characters and this and that. But my character has been living alone for decades. And so I act with really
weird.
one person here.
He's scary and weird.
Yeah, and we
Interact.
become friends.
Well, it takes time, doesn't it?
Yes.
Both a threat and
Necessity.
Yeah, necessity.
Yeah.
Well, yes, because as we, finish season 1, Juliet has gone outside and we've discovered a whole new world out there. Really, what can you say about where season 2 picks up?
Should I? I think, Graham, you do this one so much better than me.
Well, boy, thanks for the setup, Rebecca.
You're welcome.
How can I fail now? Yeah, it's the thing that Hugh built, and this is Hugh Howey right here, the author of the trilogy, and
Yes, Hugh.
You can do it longer than that if you want.
is that there's this great mystery of why are these people underground? Why are they living like that? When is it going to be safe to go out? Is it safe now, or what's going on? And so we felt that at the end of season 1, we got to answer some questions and then expand the universe. And it's suddenly, oh no, this is much bigger than we thought. And so that then gets us into the silo that Steve Zahn's character Solo lives in, and Juliet manages to get refuge in there. But will she survive? Meanwhile, back in the original silo, 18, we've got this whole story about a burgeoning rebellion, because they all saw someone walk over the hill and disappear, which has never happened in the history of the silo, as far as anyone knows. So those are the things that are driving the story.
I mean, thank you. I would never have answered that.
mean,
I mean, look, that's why.
I honestly don't know if that was the answer to the question, but they were words that I put together.
No, the good thing is you went long enough, we forgot what the question was.
Yeah, exactly.
So we just assume you nailed it.
That's one of the tricks.
But frankly, my questions are never actually important. It's much more important what we get a chance to learn. And everybody here at Comic-Con has already been fans of this story, now fans of the show. Hugh, what has that experience been like, watching the words come to the screen in this way and getting a chance to kind of watch the universe build?
It's been incredible. When this started taking off, I was working in a bookstore and I could see my sales in real time. And I was like, I think I'm going to have my 5 minutes of fame with this little short story. And now it's 15 years later, and I just feel like a kid in a candy store.
You worked in a bookshop?
Yeah, I was selling books while I was, dabbling, trying to get my own little story out there.
That's great. I like that.
And
It's a lie, but I like it.
I assume every day is going to be the apex of this journey, and then it keeps going higher. And so I'm just grateful every day.
All right, Rebecca, Juliet, just in general, what are you so excited about diving into with her this season? Because something that's so great about this character is all the layers to her. I know you've talked about the whole badass character label being a little thin in its definition. So, what do you what sides and shades of her will we see this season?
I think, I have said that, haven't I, many times. I think what I loved about Juliet was the awkwardness of her character due to, I'm not going to go into it, but trauma and sedimented trauma. We talked a lot about what that does to a character and the fact that she works in the mines and she's good with her hands and she's not very socially equipped. She doesn't really know how to interact with people. And that was very safe in season 1. In season 2, She's now out of her element, you know. There's no generator to fix, basically. And she walks into a completely new environment and has to gradually learn to interact with a human being. And she doesn't really know, and I'm going into the story, but the point is I love how all of our characters has dimensions and emotions and feelings and fears, and we have to go through all of those feelings to get to an end result. Because as Graham has said, it's basically it's a mystery. And every time you think you've solved something, whether it's an emotional mystery or a connection or a bond, there's another hinder, and there's another hinder. And that's what's so great about these stories. It just doesn't end. And when you think you've got the story, it's like cricket. You just haven't. It just evaporates.
What can you say?
Did that make sense?
I
You're
hope-
looking at me
Did you
so.
say it like cricket?
I hope it's like cricket.
Like the
I was
game?
trying to think
Yeah.
about what cricket
No, like
is.
the cricket, like the game. It makes no sense. You're
But,
like,
but it can go on forever, and that's what we're hoping
Yeah.
for here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
yes, well done.
I was wondering what cricket is.
That was quite a googly you threw.
Yeah.
Like the 5-day game.
We've basically now greenlit season 17 of Silo, because that or 17 rounds of cricket.
That's right.
One or the other. Well, tell me a little bit more about this rebellion and all of the ways that Sims, I'm sure, is trying to squash it in the silo.
Yeah, it's tricky because, you know, Sims is about, you know, making sure order is kept in this silo, and he's a believer in the pact, and that's his life. He's committed to that. And so many others are, but when you get challenged, like we got challenged in this season, and not only did the challenges come from within the silo, but also I feel like, man, it was good for my character to have to deal with some of the questions that are coming up, and his, you know, him having such a strong partner. His wife is a powerful woman, and you know, your wife will bring you to the truth a lot. And Sims is experiencing a lot of things that may not even come out all the way yet in season 2, but it's definitely some questions, at least the way I approached this season, dealing with the rebellion. And it's something being a part of, like, the government for me, like as a person, like being a part of the people who established what society and kind of perpetuate the lies, or maybe it's some of it is the truth, but it's funny for me to actually play this character, but I love it. I love doing it, and I kind of like see the dimensions of how human beings just deal with their lives and have to follow suit in certain ways, but still question it. So anyway, that was a long answer to what was going on.
That was good, though.
Yeah.
I was like, I need y'all all to be more confident in these answers. They're perfect. Because it's giving away just enough of a tease, because that's kind of the complicated thing with a story like this, where, you know, audiences can go and continue on with the source material and maybe think they know where it's going. Maybe they'll be surprised. What can you kind of say to those fans who think they have it all figured out about what's to come this season? Do you have a few wrenches you might be throwing into their expectation?
Well, we're not going to tell you. No, I think that there's this thing between Hugh and me, that my joke that I feel that everyone should buy the books and not read them until after the series is done, so that we get to be the ones who spill the secrets and give the answers. But, you know, there's a Reddit forum that says, this is for the TV show. If you've read the books, do not post, right? So there is that little push-pull. People can find most of the answers by reading the books. We've taken a few big changes and a few things that are quite different from the books, but, you know, basically we're here because of what Hugh came up with. So, you know, we want to deliver on that. In the spirit, sometimes more than the thing.
Yeah.
Big changes to Bernard's character, played by Tim Robbins in the first season, and some gender flips and things like that. But we're trying to stay true to the thing he set up, which is, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. And I haven't felt that anybody has, like, people always come up to me with theories and ideas about what's happening. I mean, especially while the first season was going on. And, you know, obviously I wouldn't tell them anything of what was going on. Nobody really figured out things, especially, I mean, obviously, if they haven't read the books, they have no idea. So I love that no matter how smart you are, you can't outsmart the silo, you know?
I love that line.
Yeah. Although my critter man, I live on a farm, so the guy comes and takes skunks and takes them away. He's got it figured out.
Really?
Really?
I swear.
Man's
Yeah, he was like, This is
So
what I
don't-
think. I think this dude. I was like,
Don't listen to Critter Man. Do not follow Critter Man on Twitter or X or whatever it is.
Critter Man.
Critter Man.
yeah.
Critter
Big
Man.
Snay.
Yeah, he's telling you what's happening, and you're just trying to maintain,
Yeah, come on.
just like you've had to do as you've kept the secret that you've joined the show.
He's watching now and he's like,
Crazy.
I do have it figured out. I knew it.
I also love those super intelligent, beyond the world intelligent who comes up and goes, well, actually the generator wouldn't work because what you need to do is get a blah, 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 and I'm going, well, I believed it. I have no idea what you're talking
Right.
about, but I fucking believed it. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, no, Hugh got a lot of notes from people on the generator, and it was like, hands off, I didn't do that.
It was him.
Sometimes it's
I
like,
blame
you
it
know
all.
what?
It was
I
him.
blame it on Graham.
Yeah, or you can blame it on a lot of people. It's like, look cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look cool.
right?
It look cool.
It's a show.
It look
It's
cool.
a show.
Yeah, it's a show.
I would love to kind of guess what was maybe the most challenging element of season 2. I guess it's not me guessing, it's me asking. What would you say was the most challenging element of Juliet's story in season 2?
How much do we talk about
No,
here?
you can't
I
talk
kinda don't
about
wanna
details,
talk
but you
about
did
it,
talk
but I
about
can
the weird thing about
say-
not being with all the cast.
Yeah, but that wasn't challenging. That's
You
a
can't
lie.
talk about water.
That was a lie? You didn't
No,
care
no,
about them?
No, I care about it. It's not challenging. I can do it, though. It was challenging not being with my cast. No, there are things, let me say this. We challenge new elements.
It's physical, right?
It's
yeah, it's a physical.
It is new. It's scary. It's also things that I can do. There's going to be code, but still, at the depths of what she needs to do is so intense that for me as an actress was probably one of the most intense things that I've ever done.
Why?
I had to read a book. No, I'm kidding.
I'm
That was
sorry.
quite good, right?
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
When people watch it who know, they're
Yeah,
gonna.
they're gonna be like,
I see what you did there."
I
She's
know.
doing it. Yeah.
thank
Different
you.
element.
Very
Yeah.
clever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I always love being able to come back later and say, oh, that is what she meant
Yeah.
by that challenge. Well, I guess I'll ask you then about another challenge because you are joining the Peaky Blinders cast. Talk about a different challenge. Is there, an accent that you have to master for that one? How did that come together?
To be honest, at this point, I literally found out myself. So I'm in the conversations of that. So we'll see what happens.
a big
Maybe,
fan?
maybe not. Maybe I'll do it stumm. But my accents are very, very good.
You're
The Birmingham accent.
well. Were you a
I'm
big
excited.
fan of the show? Yeah.
Yeah, it's phenomenal and it's fun. The fact is, this is a family and Silo is such a big part of my life, but it is amazing to be able to dip in and out into other worlds. And then sitting here, doing all of these interviews.
But wherever you go, you miss us the most.
More than anything.
Yes.
I was like, you're like, actually, Denis would have something to say about that. But yes, I mean, you have so many families, quite frankly. I mean, how are you really finding the time to be in all of these worlds? And in particular, of course, also as an executive producer on Silo 2.
These guys do the show. I just pretend.
That's just
Literally,
not
but-
at all true.
No, it
You
is.
talk
brought
about
a
big
lot.
things.
You
I'm
brought a
gonna send
lot
it
to
over.
this.
It is no. I'm going to be the whole. Yes, it's amazing. I get amazing offers and work, but we all do. We're all pulled. Barely been able to tie this one down, and this one could barely make it in time. But for me, it's been watching Graham, how Graham works as a showrunner. I am learning the ropes, and I love studying people. I study everyone in their elements. That's what we do, and this show just runs really well from Hugh's work, and it trickles down.
We've got amazing producers, amazing directors, all the heads of departments.
Amazing writers.
It's an amazing environment.
I would say first season I would have 50 emails a day about would this be in the silo, would that be in the silo? Half the time I'd forward them to Hugh and he would say, I don't know, I wrote that 10 years ago, I don't know. But we would sort of figure it out. After a couple months, there were maybe 3 emails a day that people figured it out. Everyone knew what was the silo world and everyone was pulling in the same direction. And that's really one of the most
Like a
fun parts of
generator.
it. Except for the generator.
Yeah, exactly.
The generator's never pulling in the right direction.
No.
I was thinking about the various relics that are in the silo. Did you ever think of just putting anyone in for fun? Something that was just kind of off the wall that they might find? Graham, I think this might be a question for you.
No, I mean, I can't remember. Was Pez in the book?
I can't remember at this point.
I know, we
It's
can't
become
remember
such
now,
a-
Pez. It's
it
now
probably
become
started
so
as a small
iconic
thing. Now
for the
it's
show.
become a huge thing.
We can't remember if it was
Pez is in the book.
The Pez is in the book.
the Pez is in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want,
Pez is
I want Graham to feel like he's doing.
Oh, so the
Oh,
Pez
thank
is
you.
in the book. Sorry.
The Pez is not in the
Thank
book.
you.
I don't know.
Graham came up with the Pez.
But Graham came up
I
with
actually
Pez.
invented Pez. I'm that old. Yeah, no, there
Do
were.
we have some fun little things that are hiding? I feel like we do.
There's
lots.
something
Yes.
in season 2.
In season 2.
We
Yeah.
see there's this character, the judge, who's a secondary character in the first season, and she becomes incredibly important, I will say, in season 2. And she has access to all the relics, and so you see some of that in her life. I don't want to give away what they are, but you're like, oh, yeah, no, that's something that someone would take into the silo and it would be pulled away from them. But then there's one in particular, which is the little memory cube thing that is very emotional.
It's nice when it's something banal, but it's in a glass case.
Yeah, exactly.
very
That's
good.
that's
You're like-
fun.
But,
Yeah.
but actually, it was some things in a space that was like blew my mind.
That they put in there.
Yeah, that I was like, wow, we got all of this in the silo.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, the
lot of
set
contraband.
decoration people and everything. So the detail when Sims goes into that relic room, all of those pouches were filled with something.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was not accidental.
There should
People
be a lot
really
of
thought it was
pausing, I think,
My,
in some of those scenes.
Yeah.
my
With all the
set is one
details.
of the most amazing sets
Oh,
I've ever walked
it's-
into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was,
We
How
don't
much did you steal?
we don't get into that until later in
I
the
could
season.
tell them what I stole.
no, I won't.
And it's
but
not stealing.
You
I
stole
would
stuff
say
every day.
there might be things in my bag. I'm leaving my bag
can't do
open.
that.
and
If it fell in,
fall
if it falls,
into
that's not your
yeah.
fault. That's gravity.
That's the power of an
Oh my
instinct.
God.
Well, listen,
I've got to call
I wasn't
HR
going,
right now.
I wasn't going to let us get past that question of what you've slid into your bag
Yeah,
from
liberate,
set.
steal, snook out. I've taken.
I've got stuff that I want
Yeah.
from
what
the
do you
set.
want?
I want the hard drive. I
got
want
it.
the MacGuffin.
I have it already.
No.
No, I'm kidding. No.
You guys have shared custody of the hard drive.
Not your house going through the air vents.
Well, what has gone home with you?
Okay, so what? One.
Is this season 1 or season?
Oh yeah, good question.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't tell anything season 2.
No.
She's trying to get us in trouble.
Yeah.
I see her games.
Clever.
Yeah, I
She's
see.
tricky.
Well done.
Good job, Graham.
Sneaky.
You're pretty clever.
Holy moly! If that was intentional, well done.
We can go with season 1 things, I guess.
No, I mean I don't know. So many things.
I want to say something about season 2. It's amazing. You know, I have to watch it because I'm supposed to watch it, but my wife and I binged it. We could not stop watching it, and I bawled through some of the scenes you guys were in. Like, it's magical. I can't wait for people to see this.
I watched it. I fast forward their scenes
wait to
just
see
to
it.
our scenes.
You ain't right.
Team player.
Oh, hi.
That's what we all like
yeah.
about Rebecca.
Oh, y'all got
It's so
scenes?
good. It's
Blah
so
blah
good.
blah blah. Juliet. Blah 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 blah. Juliet.
You know what's crazy though? When you have 10 scripts, it's insane,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
like a Bible. It's huge. And then we realized that we don't interact, right? Mm-hmm. Our scripts just were like that. They were just reduced to like, that was insane.
The first episode, not a real spoiler, is just focused on Juliet, and I wrote it, and it kept on cutting it down for production and stuff, and it was a very short script. And asked Apple, "Are you comfortable with a short episode?" And they said, "Fine." It's not short because it's one of those things. If you just put in Juliet builds a thing to cross this gap in the bridge, well, that's a 3-minute sequence, and it was really fun. It's a fun episode, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the fun. That's the innovation. That's the what makes a creative experience like this so special. It is nothing formulaic about Silo. That is for
No,
sure.
and all the directors, Michael Dinner, Eric Avellino, Bert, Amber, and she, they're all just really
Yeah.
bring everything to
They
the
were great.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, as you mentioned, well, I guess we were just mentioning the emotional nature of this character. What can you share about working with Rebecca and what it was like to kind of tap into this guy who hasn't been around anybody and then meets Juliet?
It was a fascinating character to explore. Somebody who literally hasn't interacted with anybody in decades. So he's kind of frozen in time. in the body of a middle-aged man. We had so much fun. It was bliss. I felt like I was doing this crazy Pinter play. It was great. And thank God we love each other, because it would be really difficult to work that long with somebody that you were at odds with, but we work the same way.
Really well.
We had the same kind of like, we can be in it and then just drop it and screw around, and then in it and just drop it. And that was, it was great.
Yeah.
He was
It's,
okay.
These two. What's great about their characters too, these are two characters who don't do well with other people.
Nope.
And all of a
It was
sudden rely
exactly.
on another human.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
have to
it's-
figure that out.
it's crazy.
And it's a painful and really emotional journey to go on it with them.
What was hard, what I found, what Steve does with his character is so overwhelmingly emotional, and I don't want to go into what he does, but it's absolutely brilliant. It's hard to not fall into the habit of doing the same for me, and because I already have an established character, and she's awkward, and she has her movements and her walk and whatever it is, I found myself constantly tricking into going, oh no, that's him, stop it, go back, I have to do it again. Because it's so intoxicating. When things are good, we in the real world mimic each other, you know, as well, don't we?
Yes, for
You know,
sure. Yeah.
I rap now. Do you know?
And you do it
as
well.
you.
And I speak with a Swedish accent.
Yeah. But then gradually realizing, but that's okay maybe, because it's what we do, we merge. You know?
I'm looking forward to you all scenes. I can't wait to see that. Like,
I
Singing,
can't either.
rapping.
no.
There's a lot of people
scenes, not
involved
Oh,
rapping.
sorry.
with
I was
the
gonna
show
say-
that haven't seen the season yet because they're waiting for all the visual effects to be done.
Yeah.
And just kind of want to see it with, you know, and my wife is angry with me because I said, you gotta wait.
I want to wait.
Yeah.
Listen, I now need the silo rap. I didn't realize that you guys are just coming up with verses each
That's
season.
Rebecca, she got it.
I don't know. There was something about a ramen and Carmen.
You know what? We're not going to go into that yet.
That's great.
It was a joke. It was a joke that
It's a joke that'll be in the deleted.
They'll
There,
live
it will.
in
There will be a
infamy.
video.
I can't wait. I mean, listen, like you said, innovative. That's episode 7. But as we all kind of anticipate Silo season 2, I'm also curious what you guys are anticipating. What is on your watch list? What are some shows, movies, things that you are excited?
You know, I hear really good things about this slow horses show. Yeah.
It's good.
I work on that. There's a lot of, isn't that sad?
Remember that tiny mic we
Yeah,
had before?
wow.
Yeah, I know. That would have been for the tiny mic drop.
Tiny Mike.
No, honestly, and this sounds really
Severance season 2
Apple-centric,
for
but
me.
I really want to
Yeah.
see Sunny.
Oh yeah.
And we worked with Rashida
Rashida.
in the first season,
I
and
love Rashida.
just a wonderful human being, and want to see that. Yeah.
It's a good thing we killed her to free her up for us.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how we think.
Yeah. We set him free. I can.
What about you, Steve Zahn?
But they can always come back.
Sports.
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 Well,
The Olympics, I'm sure.
I watch the
Olympics,
news.
Olympics,
I watch
yes.
sports. Yeah.
Anybody else? What else are you guys watching?
Sports.
You know.
There are some good shows on other services that I enjoy watching, but I'd rather not talk about them at this time.
There are so many good shows.
There
I feel like
are.
if we lift one, then I'm going to go, oh, dash it, I forgot Severance season 2, and then no.
People should just
There's
watch
so many
Silo
good
season 1 again.
on repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think that's I mean, if in order to
Binge it
get
before season 2 comes out.
to get
Actually,
all
not
of the small things that you're gonna need to pause and know for the next season, you kind of do need to rewatch
Yes.
season 1. I'm on board. Well, thank you guys so much,
you.
and
Thank
have
you.
so much fun at your panel. I guess actually, maybe I should ask a question about that. What's it like being at Comic-Con?
This is my first
Amazing.
time. I
First
don't
time.
know. I'm just in a building for now.
This is
First
your
time,
first
I wanna
time at
go walk
Comic-Con,
around.
Rebecca?
I haven't been out.
It's hard for them to walk the floor.
I haven't,
because
but I'm
of
going to.
who they are. It's not hard
I'm gonna try that.
for
I'm gonna go.
writer guy. And I went with my wife and son, and Jack had summed it up. He said, you know what it's like when you're leaving a concert? He said, it's like that all the time everywhere. It's just the slow,
That's good.
you know, the shuffle. But so much creativity.
That's cool.
So wonderful artists doing wonderful work, and just the spirit of it. When you see footage of Comic-Con, you see people all dressed up, you think, oh, that's kind of goofy. You get there and you go, Fantastic.
Amazing.
Good for you.
Yeah.
This is all
Great.
this loving
Awesome.
community of people who just love to geek out on this
Great.
interesting stuff.
Love it.
If you could bump into someone cosplaying any one of the characters you all have played throughout your careers, who would you want to see?
Or who we all played, or anyone who we.
Yeah, any character you've ever played in your career, if you bumped into someone cosplaying one of those characters.
Would you like to see a Lady Jessica go through, or
No, I think
Elsa?
Rose the Hatter would be fun.
I saw a Juliet at New York Comic Con who was spot on. I think I
I
sent
think
you a
you sent
picture.
me a
Yeah,
picture.
it was amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what? Anyone who takes the time and effort,
It's great.
it's amazing. I mean, it's just, it feels a bit silly and to say that, but to be honest, to see a picture, an image of someone dressing up and making the time, meaning they love the show that much, I love it. I mean, the fact that I have to hide, I feel like, no, sod off. I can be with the people, you know?
Just tell people I'm not really her. I'm just playing her.
It's actually a good way to get
How
around
about
the
you?
floor.
Which one would you go as? Come on,
I don't know.
come on.
Bad ape.
Bad ape.
Bad Ape?
Yeah, bad.
Bad ape.
I played
My
this.
arms.
I played this character in John Wick 2, who I really love
Yeah, it
playing.
was a great scene,
so
yeah.
thanks. So I would love to see somebody doing that. But I have to say, I love how passionate the people who come to Comic-Con are. Like, they love what they love, and it's dope to see like that type of passion and enthusiasm. So to be celebrated, for us to have Silo here is amazing to me.
Y'all are going to have a blast. It's so much fun, and the fans are going to lose their minds about all these updates. So thank you for sharing them with us
Thank you.
here
Thank you.
first,
Thank you.
kind of.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.